Welcome to Twin City Talk. Today we're talking to Zach Shaw. Welcome.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Thanks for joining us. Zach is a teacher and coach at North Davidson High School, and he just started a new business. You want to tell us a little about your business?
So my business, it's called Screamin' Trivia Bingo. So I thought to myself, when you go to a bar, you always want to have good experiences and fun time. Music is one part of it, but at the end of the day, you want to have a game and enjoy yourself and have opportunity to win prizes. It started off with playing music bingo at Kickback Jacks in Winston-Salem, and it kind of grew from there. I figured out after about 2 years of it, I kind of got to the gist of everybody hears the same music. It wasn't fun anymore. So I figured everybody loves trivia, so why not change it up a little bit? Instead of just doing music bingo, we're going to keep the bingo cards and just add trivia questions. So instead of me just playing a song and you having to write that down, I might ask you who the artist is, or I might give you the artist and then you name the song. It's a way to change it up, have a little fun, enjoy the bar scene, and listen to great music.
Is there any questions that always trip people up?
Well, it depends on the genre. So I try to change it up. I love the Disney genre. I feel like even college kids, and that's really the target market, right? You already have a great environment with college kids, but having a more chill environment and not this rage that's going around. Being a younger person, I just know trying to make it where people in their mid-30s, early 40s can have as much fun as someone in their early 20s and their late teens. But one of the big trivia questions was actually around Christmas time. And I was going through the Grinch stuff, and I realized the difference between Jim Carrey and the animated thing. So when I changed up the songs, it was a very much challenge to figure out which Grinch it was. That was probably my most recent one.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was the quiz master for the Finnegan's Wake trivia for a while. I actually met my wife. She was a player. I was the quiz master, and they couldn't figure out which of us three is he flirting with. The answer is all three of them, but we just gravitated towards each other. But trivia is I'm actually on the wall at Finnegan's Trivia 10.
Oh, wow. Awesome.
Yeah, at the very top. I'm the second to do the 90-day club.
Yeah.
And I did it for 1,099 days in a row.
Overachiever. Way to go.
Yeah. And still don't have the record. Someone came behind me and beat me.
Oh.
What got you into it?
I love people. So that's the funny thing is, like, I love people and I love having fun experiences. My first time really being on a microphone was actually working with Suzy. And I kind of love the fact of being able to talk, but at the same time, it was such an enjoyment of, like, doing prizes. I enjoyed going to places and doing prizes. And I realized once I hit about 18, I wanted to go enjoy stuff like that. And then I figured out this isn't as fun. How can I make it more fun? And I kind of I'm the type of person that always wants, not one up people, but I want to see if I can make something better. And I just found a way to do that.
Yeah,
Very cool.
Yeah.
Zach and I met back when I was running, it's now Airbound, but was Rock and Jump Trampoline Park. And he was one of our top employees. And people would come to me and say, this is like a Disney experience because of this kid.
It was the first job for me. I remember that. That was like, it was between being a busboy or going to work at a trampoline park. 16-year-old kid, trampoline park. But it opened so many doors for me. I mean, that was like my first management experience. It catapulted me into figuring out what I want to do. And at the end of the day, it got me to really love kids some days. But it's a great thing. It's a great experience. And I mean, a lot of the growth I had from there was thanks to Suzy.
Thank you.
Cool.
So
it's a love fest.
Talk a little bit about teaching. You know, what got you into that?
So the teacher thing. So I'm a big football guy. I played football in high school, went and played a little bit in college. Concussions kind of ruined that for me. And I wanted to give back. So I figured out, how can I give back? How can I continue to do something I love? And it was coaching. So my first thought was like, I'm going to go be a PE teacher, live a great life, do sports, teach, get paid for it, and help kids and have fun and get to coach. And so while working on the degree, I took up a sub position at Mount Tabor High School and started there, did a math class my first day. And in all opinion, I did horrible. I thought it was awful. And then the principal pulled me in at the end of the day, and I'm like, well, I'm done. I'm never going to sub. I might need to just change my whole degree. And actually told me that I was working with a class that was very challenging, and apparently they all loved it, and other teachers thought I did really good. So they were like, we have a long-term position. It's an EC. If you'd like to try it out, we'd love to have you. Well, started that. fell in love with EC, fell in love with how you can work more with one-on-one with students, being able to help them as these kids need just that additional assistance and someone that's going to watch out for them. And so I kind of switched my degree up. I got lucky that I'm a pretty smart kid and got into a program at Winston-Salem State, the Ramsey's program, where basically I was able to get my bachelor's and master's in a span of 5 years. And you can't beat it, especially when it's free. So I took full advantage of that, and I'm loving it. Every day I'm having a blast teaching. I build these connections with the kids. I know before I left Tabor, I was working on a program that was getting my EC kids straight into Forsyth Tech and helping them really just fill out the application, because a lot of kids now these days struggle with the application part of it. So helping kids do those little steps to further their life or give them real life experience. That's the biggest thing with teaching kids, is not always trying to teach them, hey, I learned from them more than they probably learned from me. But at the end of the day, just going and finding out who they are and letting them their true self show. That's just the biggest part of teaching.
You need to teach a class on energy and positivity. I'm half serious. Like, your optimistic outlook on everything, the way that you're talking, it's all energy. It's all about, this is the next thing I can do. This is how I can help somebody. This is how I can make a difference. I mean, it's infectious. It's super cool. I don't know how many conversations I've had. My daughter's getting ready to go to college, and so a lot of them are at that age. And it's, when you hear somebody start to go down that negative path, or it's not gonna, it's like, well, that's not gonna get anybody anywhere. Yeah. So how do you spin that? I'm hearing nothing but that from you. That's very cool.
And that's the thing, though, is like I can sit here, I'm gonna be the most energetic, most positive person, but just like any kid growing up, like there's been marks where it's been negative. And when you hit that wall, you're gonna hit it in high school. You're really gonna hit it in college. And it's just being able to find someone that can pull you out of it. Relationships tear you down. Getting with the wrong crowd tears you down. And it's just, if you don't build a group around you, that's the biggest thing about me, is like my family is actually very small. It's just my mom and my grandma. That's my two rocks. But that's just the only blood family. It digs so much farther, and it's kind of who made me who I am. Especially after losing my dad, I just got grabbed by everybody, and they brought me in, built me up. So I just try to do every day in my life and just build them up even more. So that's cool. Just my big goal. So I appreciate the energy thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
well, it's infectious.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I do that with sports too. Even with football. Being a 22-year-old coach on a high school football staff, you don't see it. Like, and
no, you look like you could be one of the kids.
Yeah, right. And the thing is, I actually love it. I blend in.
You said I got my bachelor's and my master's. I'm like, you're 12. What are you talking about?
Yeah, exactly. The funny thing is too with that, actually, I get my bachelor's in May and my master's next May. I graduated in 2021. I even took 2 semesters off on my dead pass. I've just full on steamed ahead. Got worked while I was doing it. But that's the thing, is kids now these days, they have so much opportunity to deal with life. And it's the way of how you deal with it. If you just allow people to beat you down, you just won't get past it. So that's my big thing in all points. If it's sports, there's always going to be someone bigger and better and faster and stronger. It's just how you look at it. How can I get around this obstacle? And just apply it to every part of your life.
I'm going to say it again. You need to teach a class. They need to have a sideline class where you just bring people in. You teach them about obstacles and positivity. There you go.
I appreciate that.
Super cool.
It means a lot. It means a lot coming from you.
Wow. You don't hear it that often anymore. I don't know. I'm not going to get old man about it.
So coaching, tell us some more of the challenging sides that you deal with.
I think he brought up a great point. Being young, talking to kids. My last year, actually, kids that were seniors was in high school as freshmen when I was a senior in high school. Now, first off, it's very hard to listen to a peer and getting over that line of being a peer with those with our students. That's the biggest obstacle. But once you show them the passion, how much you support them, these are kids that I want to see. I can't wait to get invited to their weddings. And it's getting over those obstacles of your maturity and your age are two different things in life. Now, always your age is going to hold you back. You can't do certain stuff because of your age. I still can't rent a car, guys. That's the honest thing. But what I can do is I can talk to a kid. I can help him through it, and I can relate. So finding the option, the obstacles, and turning the obstacles to advantages. And another thing with is parents. Parents, when they see a young kid coaching, they're like, what is my kid really going to grow from this? And my big thing is just, you don't have to listen to what I say, just watch what happens. And that's, you go at that at everything in life. People are always going to talk, but when people show up to work and do what they got to do, you can't, there's nothing you can argue with that.
Yeah.
And I love coaching football because, at least I get to relive it through them. So.
Are you from Winston?
I'm born and raised in Winston. I've tried to run away and everything pulls me back. So I figured, it's a big future ahead, but I love Winston. I love the people in Winston. I love the life that I've had. I've lived in the same house 22 years since the day I came home from the hospital. I haven't got out of that yet. I'd love to get out of that, but I love it. I even goes to it, me and my new fiance, we were talking about, she's from Georgia. I'm from here. I don't want to leave here. She doesn't want to leave there. So we're having to make compromises. And I tell you, being a young person trying to make compromises, one of the most difficult things. But Hannah, she's just really good at helping me navigate it. So we kind of just have okay, here's a 5-year goal. And that's kind of the thing. But when it comes to Winston, it's home. You got Krispy Kreme down the street, got Chick-fil-A. Well, Chick-fil-A's everywhere, but you got Dario's. I miss Ted's Kickin' Chicken. They got rid of that. That sucks. But the people in Winston, it's you go somewhere. I go downtown on weekends and enjoy time with friends. And I walk in and I know somebody. I see somebody and it's great conversations, or they know somebody from the past. And that could be good. That could definitely be bad. But you make these relationships, and that's how you grow, especially in my line of work, your career. It's all about your relationships. So especially with coaching, it's playing around here made me have connections, good and bad, with coaches. And now being an adult, furthering those connections can only grow you. So that's the good thing about Winston. It's big and it has a lot of scary things about it as the aspect of such a big city, but it's really not. Because everywhere you turn around, one door you walk in, you're going to know somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, we say that a lot. It's a larger city, but it still feels like a small town in a lot of ways. Yeah.
For sure.
So, yeah, it does. It just sort of brings you back, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, no, it always does, and it's that's the cool thing. I run into, I think, especially on the holidays. Me not going away for college, I'll go somewhere, vintage sofa bar or something like that, and see kids I went to college with, not college with, high school with, and talk to them, have a great conversation with them. And I'm so glad they go back to college because, I enjoy my little life. I'm a very weird person in this fact is, I relate with my peers, but I do so much better with, people about 4 or 5 years older than me. I feel like I have so much better conversations and I walk away with more, insight with those conversations because I don't care about, the little stuff anymore. I got things to do. I got people I want to grow, and me sitting around talking to my old high school peers, they're worrying about this boy and girl drama. I'm worrying about how I'm going to pay rent at the end of the month. So I just I like having being able to talk to people that's lived life a little bit. And that's the good thing about Winston is you go somewhere, you can go play pool, you can go listen to music. You're going to find somebody there, you carry a conversation on with them, and at the end of the day, it's going to be a valuable conversation, good or bad.
Are you finding
hush falls over the room of the wisdom the pearl just dropped?
Are you finding one of the themes we hear is the small business community is pretty supportive. So now that you're starting one, do you feel like you're feeling that?
Yeah, no, they're very supportive. I've reached out. It's a lot of footwork. So everything with small business, if you're not being the one to push yourself, you're not really going to get the push. So the more you push, I've learned is they're very receptive, and even if they're not going to work with you, they will find somebody that might be willing to work with you. And it's kind of when you look at that, it's just every opportunity you get, make the best of it because you don't know who's going to be in that room. Because like I said, Winston-Salem's so small. I could do something one place and someone could hear me and I could be at their place and sooner than later. And it's just building those, like I said earlier, connections and just continuing to lean on other small business owners, and they want the best for you, and you just promote them as much as they promote you, and it'll work out good.
What are you looking to do with the trivia game? What do you want to do with it?
I just want to continue to grow it. I feel like, for me, it's a great opportunity. As much as I can grow it, the further I can grow it, then I can, people my age, I feel like have such the opportunity to hey, if this gets bigger than me, great. Let's find some people that's like-minded like me. Let's continue to do it. If we're making that impact and that good time vibes that everybody's looking for, let's get it as big as we can. Or if it's going to stay as small, then it's just going to be me. I'm going to have a fun time doing it, and I hope everybody that's there has a fun time doing it. I just want to enjoy it, and it's not work. I mean, it's great you get to make a little money, but it's not work. And that's the great thing about it. And it really started from just having fun. Like I said earlier, having fun, and an opportunity fell in my lap with music bingo, and I just said, let's just change it up. Let's make it even better.
Very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Which high school did you go to?
Graduated from Reagan High School. I love Reagan, but a lot of people talk smack about Reagan, especially working at 2 different schools now. Everybody's got opinions, and I've learned that like you have to put your alma mater to the side very quickly and be whoever you're at, support it big.
Reagan's one of the newer high schools in Winston, isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. It's a great school. I know that I probably got a lot from it. I felt around a lot more smarter people than I probably was, but you learn from smart people, I'm telling you, man.
You do. Is Reynolds what's the first high school in Winston?
I want to say that
Was it
Reynolds
Reynolds?
is probably amongst the oldest.
And it's still, they haven't changed much of it.
No.
You need to do some
My
Winston trivia.
grandfather graduated from the first graduating class.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I want to say it was like 1922 or something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I'd probably say North is up there too.
Yeah.
I know Parkland was 66.
Yeah, North's been around a while.
Yeah.
Not North Forsyth.
Yeah, no, I know that part. But no, Reynolds is also, they're supposed to set up be the first high school to have a turf field.
Yeah.
That's what I've heard. And that's going to be awesome. I also say for all the teachers out there, there's that new bill that's going to, if it comes out, I'm so happy if it does. They're supposed to raise the teacher pay. We need it. I love my teachers. Big shout out to all my teachers out there. But yeah, no, like it's awesome when you look at when you look at it. I mean, things are changing, right? So the big thing going on right now is they just did realignment with conferences. So now these Winston-Salem teams are playing different teams than they normally did. It's going to kind of grow. It's going to bring more people to Winston, which is another awesome opportunity for us. Is just having more people's eyes on Winston. And I mean, if you look around, like kids in Winston are going places, and it's just like I know everybody's eyesight like on us younger. I don't know where I fall in, millennial or whatever. I'm not I don't know what the kids in high school are now, but like they're all so negative about how these kids are, and it's just understanding like these kids are going to be our future. Invest in them, and they might seem quirky now, but some of the smartest people seem quirky when they're in high school. So just continue to invest in them, continue to love on them, and just watch them flourish.
Is there an older generation that hasn't said negative things about the ones that are
behind
coming behind them? I don't think that it exists. So,
you know, that's the thing. You say that, but for me, I mean, I always hear like, oh, my generation's so much better. Well, my generation sucks sometimes, but it's awesome at the other times. Like, we're doing amazing things. It's just, it might not affect you, but it's going to affect people below us. And I think that's where you're right. It's like, everybody's going to have these negative impacts on each generation. Like, they're going to think, oh, this is bad. They're not as hardworking, but
I think each generation brings something different to the table.
They do.
the baby boomers brought a lot of babies. You know?
Well, the boomers were the babies.
Oh, wait. You see, you told you not the brightest. Not the, you know.
Well, I think Gen X is the best, but no one ever notices us.
Well, that's because we keep our heads down.
That's
and
right.
plow
We're just
forward,
like,
but-
yep.
Well, this is the latest generation. It's the first generation to have not known a life without a smartphone.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
to be in that space where it's always been. We talk about this every once in a while, but you have instant availability to any information. So you think to yourself, well, that's got to proliferate. More intelligence, more seeking knowledge. It's all right there. We had to go to the library. We had to ask a trusted friend. We had to do our research, whatever. Mm-hmm. That's not the way it is now. So you would think that but the truth is the opposite is true. Ease is sort of the enemy of progress, as they say, because you don't have to do anything to earn the knowledge. So it's kind of just sitting there, kind of being wasted. So to your point, that work ethic disappears if you don't have to go earn it.
Exactly.
Anyway, so it's a really interesting transition, having an 18-year-old daughter, right? And likewise.
Well, you see it, and you also see it though, like, right? So, hey, there's two things on that. COVID. This is the first. These kids right here are your really high school kids right now. They were in kindergarten during COVID. So you see the educational delays. You see these kids that rely so much on their laptop to do work. Guys, when I was in high school, which I graduated in 2021, if I had my phone out in class, my phone was getting taken away.
Yeah.
Not by my parents, by my teacher and my parent. My dad was going to have to drive from his work and come all the way down there and pick up my phone, and I was going to hear about it when I got home. Now these days, if we take their phones, we're in trouble. like that's a no-no. And, we have these continuing problems where we've moved all the internet, like all the school to like internet. Now, where are we really servicing these kids? Now, at the same time, I'm also a kid that thrived during COVID. My grades shot up. I was better on the internet because it was on my own pace, my own time. I do it in college now. Guys, in the last 3 years, I've been to maybe 3 classes in person, and I've done everything else online. I also have a 3.9 GPA, and it's because I do better in that. So it's great for students, but for students that need it controlled or
need the social environment.
Yeah.
Some people did really well in COVID because, to your point, it's like, okay, I can lock in, I can do it when I want to, I can do it when I'm inspired, I can take a break when I feel like it. Yeah. And other people, they need the social or they feel isolated. And so, I'm really happy that in a lot of cases, like in my daughter's case, there were groups that would get together outside of that, like, we need some social here. Let's go to a park, let's hang out, let's do something so that there's always a social environment. But yeah, it does shine a spotlight on the types of people and what they do and don't need.
Exactly.
But yeah, that was a really,
that was
interesting,
a hard time for
unintentional
teenagers.
social experiment. Yeah.
And my son graduated in 2020, so no prom, no graduation.
Yeah. It was like so weird watching professional sports with empty stadiums and that kind of stuff. It was that was such a bizarre experience.
To where they were piping in the crowd noise and a couple of
or there were cutouts of
people.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, people could pay to have cutouts there.
Yeah.
And could you imagine if everybody had just paid for one person's face and it was just across the stadium, everybody's just the same person, just everywhere.
Gosh.
I think that would have been awesome.
I think I would have been hilarious. We just put your face up there and just let everybody see you.
Roger. It's just that guy throughout the whole stadium.
There's just
Flat Roger. Flat Roger is everywhere.
Roger. Yeah.
So how can people find out about your business?
Right now I'm on Instagram, Screaming Music Trivia. Come check me out there. Also, starting right now, I'm in this I took a break for a while and I'm really diving back into it. So I'm starting at Wednesday nights, 8 to 10 at Dive Bar in High Point. Continuing to grow in Winston, talking to multiple companies right now and just continue the growth. But check out that page right there. It'll help you out big. Screaming Music Trivia on Instagram, which hopefully it'll be tagged in somewhere because some people might misspell it and it happens. But check us out. It's awesome. You're gonna see me. I'll run my mouth. I'll joke around with you. And if you got something funny or if you got trivia ideas, let me know because there's only so many ideas I have because like I said, born in the 2000s. If I start digging into the 80s, I like 80s music, but trivia questions, 80s music, not going to be my personal experience.
That's my specialty.
See, mine's 90s country. 90s and early 2000 country. I can kill that. Disney movies, amazing. Movies like that, yeah, I can kill movies. That's probably one of my funnest ones is doing music, like songs from movies or asking them who sang a song in a movie. Like that's, you're sitting there and you're stumped because you can't go use Shazam because Shazam's not going to give it to you right away because you're like, well, what movie? And it's just going to show you the name. So, I mean, it adds that layer of not super easy to cheat. But, everybody's going to cheat a little bit on
I did not allow cell phones out during Finnegan's Trivia.
I would think that would sort of defeat the purpose.
Yeah.
If you're going to play a game and you're going to bring your device to cheat on it with, it's like, well, why? I mean,
the prizes, right?
I mean, I get it.
But that brings us back to the generational split. The kids that we're dealing with now these days, you can't go tell a kid to put his phone away because there's no chance it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Look at the kids right now. If you go over there, the Wake Forest kids, if you tell them they can't have their phone out, they're gonna walk right on out and head to the Mexican restaurant or play.
Yeah, well, they didn't get to play if they had them out. If I saw it, I would go by and I would go put that away. Okay. And if not, they only got one. The second time, team doesn't get any more points or disqualified.
Well, my nigga
angry trivia you've got.
That's right. I was even my wife. She got mad because I wouldn't give her answers. And I'm like, I take this shit way too serious.
I was going to say contentious trivia.
Well, thank you so much for joining and bringing your positivity to Twin City Talk.
Of course. Thank y'all so much for having me. Appreciate it.
It's
Very
great
nice to meet you.
Very nice meeting y'all.
This is Twin City Talk. You can find us on Instagram and Facebook. Thank you. The views and opinions portrayed by guests on this podcast are not necessarily those of the distributors and hosting companies. And if you love this podcast, that's great, but don't think about stealing it. Reach out to us and talk about the content, because it is copyrighted.